Hi there. Guess what? It's the start of NaNoWriMo, the National Novel Writing Month. And if you're one of the many authors around the world who's wanting to make a start, then as someone who got her start on Nano 10 years ago, I'm here to give you a few tips to set you up for success. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Lisa Oliver. I am an author in the paranormal gay romance field. I got my start in NaNoWriMo back in 2013. Yes, it is 10 years ago today that I started my writing journey. And in that 10 years, I have written over 100 titles and I make a comfortable living just from my writing. I don't have anything else. I make all of my money just through my writing. And the thing is I remember what it was like, even though it was 10 years ago when I started. And so I wanted to give you a few tips on how to get through your NaNoWriMo with the best chance of success. Tip number one. Yes, when you go into the NaNoWriMo site and you put in how many words a day you're going to do, you might want to be a bit, how would we put it, over enthusiastic. Back when I started Nano, back in 2013, there was a set word count. You didn't actually have the option. You had to write 3,000 words a day. And yeah, I was really pleased that I did that because I did find that it really did set me up. You know, there will be a lot of people. I am known as a prolific author because I do write every single day, just about, pretty much. I've just come off of finishing 2 books in the one go in the same week. So I did have to take like a week to catch up on admin and things like that. But anyway, back to Nano. Don't be overly optimistic. Set yourself a realistic goal. And that goal depends on how much time you can devote to your writing every day. Now, I am in a situation, myself personally, as an author, I live alone. I don't have a lot of outside commitments. You know, my work is my life. I have a lot of crafts that I enjoy, but, you know, pretty much my writing is my life and I thoroughly enjoy it. So for me, it's not a hardship to carve out 2 or 3 hours every day just to do my work. You know, I get lost in my worlds and I enjoy that. But for those of you, for many of you who are listening to me today, you could have families, you could have partners, you could have a job, you might be studying, you will have other commitments on your time. So if you want to set yourself up to be successful in Nano, then the first thing you need to do is to be realistic about the amount of time you can commit to this and put it in a time that works for you. So if you say, oh, you're going to do half an hour a day, then you do your half an hour a day. Doesn't matter so much about the word count. Try and commit to the time because that will help you get through the month so much easier. And that's where it comes to my tip number 2, which is try and pick the same time every day. And this is so your body will get into that habit. So if, for example, you have a really busy day, you know, you have children, you have work commitments, you are a busy person, which a lot of people are these days, and you still want to write your first book. So you've come onto Nano with that goal in mind. So maybe for this month, maybe get up half an hour earlier, because I would, you know, I know some people suggest, or just stay up half an hour later at night. But once you've gone through your busy day, actually the last thing you feel like doing is committing to writing for half an hour at night. So the earlier you do it in a day, the less pressure writing every day becomes for you. So if you get up say you have to commit to, say, getting up at 6 o'clock. I don't know. It's just a random figure. Don't flame me in the comments about it. But say, for example, you usually get up at 7. And instead, for the month of November, you get up at 6. And you have your coffee, you do your thing, and you write for half an hour. If you do that first thing in the morning before anything else in your day, then that stress of completing Nano is totally gone, because you've already done it. And you can carry on with your day. And then if you finish early or you get done early for your day, you can actually put your feet up, watch a movie, or do whatever it is that you like to do when you've got some free time. I seriously suggest doing Nano as the first thing in your day. Then you've got a better chance of getting through to the end of the month. And that brings me to my next tip. And I've already forgotten what number I'm up to. I think it's 3 or 4. But that's about not beating yourself up if you miss a day. Because I think if we know about anything, I'll use the diet analogy, okay? Because, I was one of those people years ago who used to decide to diet on the 1st of January, right? And for about day 1, I'd be, yep. And day 2 would be, yep. And then day 3, I'd go out. And I think, okay, never mind, I'll do it the next day. But then day 4, something else happens. And by day 5, that resolve is gone. Don't do that with Nano, okay? Do it early, get it done early in the day. Do it as best you can. But if you sleep in one morning, don't beat yourself up about it, but make a commitment to be there the next morning instead. Actually, on my other channel, Lisa Writes, I'm going to do my best to do at least a half-hour Nano sprint every day for the month of November. As I say, I'm not actually doing Nano, but I am really, really supportive of people who do, particularly if this is your first novel. It is so exciting. It really is. Okay, so we've done that. Now, the other thing, as I say, I touched on this before, but commit more to the time that you write in Nano every day. When I do a lot of sprints on my Lisa Writes channel, I mention that even if you just do 100 words, just 100 words in a sprint every day, that's 100 words more towards your novel being finished. Now, obviously, if you write 100 words a day on Nano, you're not going to have a book finished by the end of the month. But you will have set yourself a pattern of behavior. And honestly, when I look back, doing Nano, that was the biggest thing that NaNoWriMo did for me, is it got me into the habit of writing every day. I found I wanted to write. I found I was looking forward to writing. It was actually really cool because I could say to my family, because when I started, I had family. And I would say, oh, you can't bother me now, I'm doing my Nano. And everybody sort of looked at me, because I live in New Zealand and we're not that au fait on some things. And they'd sort of look at me and say, oh, Mum's having a thing. But they left me alone. That was the key point. They left me alone. And that bleeds into my next tip, which is get the support of the people you live with. To at least, they don't have to understand your need to write a book. They don't have to understand why you want to write a book. I got a lot of flack because of the genre I write in. They don't have to understand why you need to do this. They just need to support you while you're doing it. And the most effective thing they can do is to respect your half an hour or hour, or whatever time it is you've allotted to your Nano every day. They just need to respect it, which means your kids don't bother you, your partners don't bother you, you turn your phone off and you just dedicate to your dream, because that's what Nano is, isn't it? It's just a dream. It's your dream. It's something you've cherished and wanted to do because you want to write your story. So get some support on board if you can. Another thing that you need to understand, and this isn't so much of a tip as an awareness, as a public service announcement, if you like. Creativity, your creative muse, just like you, has good days and bad days. And this harks back to not beating yourself up. If you have a bad day and you don't get many words done, it really doesn't matter. Show up, do a half an hour or whatever time it is you've allocated yourself, and then count that as done and move on. Pat yourself on the back because you deserve it. The hardest thing in writing a book is actually knuckling down and getting it done. And remember, when you're doing Nano, you're only writing a first draft. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to tweak it. You're just getting words on the page. So keep that as your focus. And some days you will be wanting to write, you'll get to your half an hour, your timer will go off or whatever, or maybe you're watching one of my sprint videos or something, and then you go, oh my God, but I'm still, keep writing. Nobody said you just had to do half an hour or whatever time it was you allotted. Keep writing, keep going. It'll just keep help adding to your word count every day. But don't beat yourself up on those days when you've sort of written 2 paragraphs and thought, oh, fart, that'll do. Because what will happen, especially if you've started writing at the beginning of the day, is as you go about doing all your other things, your mind is such an incredible place. And what happens is there's a whole lot of stuff goes on in the background in your brain, and it's working on your story. And when you stop for 5 minutes, like to have a shower or whatever else, or maybe go for a walk or what have you, your mind is working on that story, and it'll come up, well, what if you do this? What if you do that? And it's really fascinating the way it works. But believe me, it does work. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do something on a particular day, or you didn't meet your word count or whatever else. Just go into it again the next day with the same renewed purpose. And finally, the one last thing, what number are we up to? Does anybody know? Does anybody care? The last tip I want to give you is to please, please walk that fine edge between being creative and getting burnt out. You're at the beginning of the month. It's super exciting, and it really is. But take it from somebody who has done NaNoWriMo. I think I've done it 4 or 5 times. I can't remember. But who now writes and puts out a book every month without fail. Take it from somebody who knows and who's been there. And I consider myself a NaNoWriMo success story. Don't push too hard. Push enough to keep you motivated. But on those days when you're tired, accept it, move on. Just pick it up the next day. Writer burnout is a very real thing. Been there, done that, probably got a t-shirt with it on somewhere. It is a very real thing. Surprisingly, it is not easy to sit down every day and just write. But you've signed up for Nano because you've got a dream of finishing your book. And I can tell you personally, from personal experience, NaNoWriMo can deliver that for you. It provides all the tools. It provides communities if that's what you're looking for. Now, I never did. I have built my community since I've started self-publishing my work. But for you, you might like the camaraderie that comes from the groups and things that you can use in Nano to help keep you accountable. But don't let it become a competition, okay? Don't let it do that, because if you're not coming first in a competition, it's really easy to lose motivation. So this is honestly an instance where showing up really counts. And that's what I'm hoping for you. As I say, back in 2013, I don't know how long Nano's been going, but I picked it up in 2013, believing that I couldn't write fiction. I'd only ever written nonfiction up to that point, but I believed I couldn't write fiction. I believed my dialogue was stilted. I believed nobody would be interested in the story that I wanted to write. But what I did on day one is I sat down and I wrote the story I wanted to read, or I started writing the story I wanted to read. By the end of November 2013, I had finished my first book, The Reluctant Wolf, and I had already started my second. And it's changed my life. It really has. I dress how I want, get up when I want, do what I want. I have built my life through living on the proceeds of my self-publishing. And I know it's possible for you. If it's a book deal you're looking for, you can't do that till you finish the book. If you're like me and you want to self-publish and build up your own community of readers, now they are the biggest gift that I have. It's the biggest gift I got from not only writing my first book, but then I didn't put it out until February next year, the following year. So my 10-year publiversary is actually, I think it's February the 24th or the 26th next year, because I thought my work was crap. But there was a whole bunch of people out there that seemed to resonate with what I was saying. And there are some people, some of my readers, 10 years later, who have bought every single thing that I've written. And they fill you with encouragement. They fill you with excitement. They let you know how much they enjoy your stories. And they have brought so much love and excitement and color into my life, particularly for somebody like me who's a lot older. That was a gift that came from starting Nano. So I really hope you enjoy your journey. If you have any questions at all, please drop them below, because I want to help. I'm going to record another video today, which will be on my Lisa Writes channel, where I have different lengths of time writing sprints that you can just put on and follow along with me as I'm writing too. If you don't want to reach out to people in your group or people in your area, if you feel like you're alone, don't feel like you're alone. Go and pick up one of my, go and click on one of my writing sprint videos and write along with me instead. It'll be so lovely to have you there. Good luck, good writing. As always, hug the ones you love, my friends. Today is the start of a new journey, and isn't it exciting? Catch you in the next video. Bye.